Hello from the Bachmann team from Matt and Tyler. Um, I'm Matt, um, and to my left over here is at least part of Tyler.
Matt, Orange, you glad it's New Model Monday?
I see what you did there.
Come on, man. Please clap.
I wasn't prepared for that.
Hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, it is New Model Monday. I know it's only been a couple of weeks since the last one. We were a little late last month, and due to some personal scheduling conflicts, we're a little early this month. So kind of close together, but nonetheless, we do still have a ton of stuff to show and to talk about. As you just got a brief preview of from Tyler there, we've got some pretty cool new locomotive and rolling stock paint schemes to show off. We also have quite a few scenery products to talk about as well. So, but first of all, Tyler, we just you just got back from the World's Greatest Hobby Show in Dallas, right?
We did, yeah. The World's Greatest Hobby was on tour in Dallas a week ago. It's great to see all the Bachmann fans there, and it's good to be home and it's exciting to be able to show off some of the new stuff that we got coming.
Absolutely,
So
yeah. So I
without
guess
further
without
ado,
what's that?
I was going to say the same thing. Without further ado,
Yes, without further ado, let's move right into it. I'll put you on the full screen here.
yeah. I do, in fact, have a lot of orange stuff just by coincidence that happened to be what we received in the last couple of weeks. But there are some pretty exciting new road names in here. I'm going to start with some new HO scale GP40s that we got in. These are two of the four paint schemes that we announced in the 2026 catalog. We'll start right here with the Western Pacific. This is a DCC sound value on board locomotive. You can see here this is the as delivered Western Pacific scheme. The silver and orange with the black hazard stripes on both the front and the rear, as well as the orange on top of the nose. This scheme was later modified to have black anti-glare section on top of the nose. But the Western Pacific GP40s were a couple of different paint schemes. We already have the dark green and orange in the line in DCC ready, and now we're bringing the earlier orange and silver scheme that was worn on Western Pacific's first generation diesel power and did last a little bit into the second generation before they switched to some other paint schemes.
Yeah, it's a really sharp one, especially the kind of chrome silver on there, and it's very evocative of the California Zephyr and the streamliners that they ran.
It is, yeah. This is very similar to the same paint scheme that they had on their F units from about 10, 15 years earlier. It's kind of a shame that they didn't stick with this paint scheme and went to the green and orange later on, because I think this is a very attractive paint scheme, very timeless. So, like our other DCC Sound Value GP40s, this comes with Soundtrack's Economy. So you've got a full selection of sound functions, directional lighting, and dual mode DCC decoder.
And this has a little bit more functionality to it than the previous strictly sound value marketed models.
Yes, that it does. The sound value previously was had fewer options, sound options that could be selected with CVs on the decoder, and just fewer functions readily available in general. But this is a much more fully featured sound decoder while still being under the affordable sound value line.
Very cool.
And if you prefer, I should mention I mentioned we have two of the four paint schemes. We're also doing a new road number for the Norfolk Southern Thoroughbred scheme that was announced in the 2026 catalog along with the Western Pacific. But moving on to DCC Ready, for those of you who prefer to do your own decoder installations or just need a basic straight DC locomotive to run on your analog layout, we have two paints. We had two paint schemes announced in the 2026 catalog. We had the modern Alaska Rara paint scheme, and we also have the brand new Illinois Central. So as I had, of course, you got the classic split IC logo on the front there. One of my favorite railroad logos. I think the 1970s had some of the best paint schemes, just as far as the bold colors and the more modern logos. You had Conrail, Chessie System, the kind of railroads that come to mind when I think of this era, and Illinois Central is right up there. And I mentioned previously when we did the catalog announcement stream, uh, one of the reasons we selected Illinois Central was because it was one of the top requests when we did our road name customer interest survey a couple of years back. And Illinois Central didn't have any representation in our line at the time in any scale. So we heard your requests and your interest in Illinois Central, and we're starting that off by offering this very nice GP40.
Yeah,
As I
it's a very
mentioned, this
cool.
is
Sorry, go on.
as I mentioned, this is a DCC ready locomotive, and this has a 21 pin socket inside, so you can install the latest fully featured decoders from your manufacturer of choice.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a cool paint scheme. I'm still hoping at some point we get to do a box car because those orange box cars that the Illinois Central have were really eye catching.
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully, this is just the beginning.
Yeah. So there you go. Just the hopes and wishes don't just come from our customers; they come from inside as well.
Yeah, I mean, we always are. We always have discussions, and we look at our sales history, but also the customer interest for new road names when we announce them every year in the catalog or in the mid-year announcements. So your feedback is a big help with that.
For sure, yeah. And I guess we'll continue in the orange theme. You got some HO rolling stock to take a look at as well, right?
We do, yes. So we have a new road name for our GATX 4180 airslide hopper, which we released about a year and a half ago, I believe. And we have the Denver and Rio Grande Western, excuse me, in their Action Road, the big speed lettering, and the Rio Grande Orange. The Rio Grande had many air slide hoppers, but unique thing about these cars, this was a series of only 5 cars that were acquired from the Frisco, and Rio Grande's own air slide hoppers that they had ordered were all just basic flat gray. But for these cars they got from the Frisco, when they repainted them, they decided to jazz it up a little bit with the orange, and I think that was a very smart decision. So bring it in close. For those of you who haven't already gotten the air slide hopper and haven't seen all this fine underbody detail, all of the hardware and brake system details, the hardware for the air slide hopper outlets. You've got your see-through walkway on the end, separately applied brake wheel on this end, the separately applied roof hatches, and the separately applied see-through roof walk. And of course, the correct 100-ton roller bearing trucks with 36-inch wheels. So the air slide hopper, we've gotten a. It's been great to see all the enthusiasm for those and the sales we've gotten for that. And we've got Rio Grande as our newest road name for those, and we're also doing two new road numbers for the Burlington Northern, which was one of the road names in the first release of these cars.
Yeah, really nice paint scheme. And one of my favorite things about these cars is just when you hold it up to, and you show that side profile there, you can see all the piping and all the underbody detail that went into these cars. Which really is, with this style of car, it's something you have to replicate because there's so much going on under there with the outlet hatches and all the brake work and everything.
Yeah, you got everything there. You got your hopper outlets. You've got like I mentioned, the air pipes for the brake ribbing. You've got the brake valve and the different reservoirs underneath. So it is completely true to the prototype.
Yeah, those are going to be nice cars.
Absolutely. And of course, we can't leave out N scale, and we've got just one new N scale. Well, it's two road names for one item. So we've got the latest releases for our single dome tank car in N scale. We have the CF Simmons and Sons vegetable oil refiners tank car, which was kind of continues on our orange theme here. And of course, CF Simmons out of Philadelphia, if you can see it on the camera there. So of course we had to make sure to do that. So that is an existing road name with a new road number. We also have all new to N scale, the Warren Petroleum car with the very distinctive green dome. It's a car we have done in HO scale, but this is its first time in N scale.
And these
As
cars
far
were
as
these cars were retooled a few years ago, if I'm remembering correctly.
they were completely redesigned from the ground up, all new tooling. If you're familiar with we had an older tank car dating back from the beginning of Bachmann and N scale. Slightly different design, had the platform and handrails around the dome, but this was a completely new design from the ground up. It's a ACF American Car and Foundry 10,000 gallon car. It has the metal handrails, the separately applied vertical brake wheel. So this is a 1930s earlier design. Have a detailed underbody. Even for N scale, it's definitely very detailed with the open frame, the different the brake reservoirs, metal wheels, friction bearing trucks, everything you'd come to expect. And it's been going strong in our line for about 15 years now. So we wanted to keep that line going with some new road names and new numbers. So look out for these later this year.
Awesome. Yeah, yeah. If you haven't checked out our full range of ACF 10,000 gallon tank cars, definitely take a look because we have a whole page devoted to them in our catalog. It's a lot of different road names to choose from a wide range of eras as well, including a couple of modern paint schemes for MOW service. So it's a nice range of tank cars. So yeah, so today Tyler's got he had the job of showing off our rolling stock arrivals and our locomotive arrivals, and I have the job of showing off some scenery and structure, I guess, kind of structure. Well, yeah, structure arrivals that we just received samples of. So none of this is in stock yet, but it's going to be in stock in the next coming few months. Usually, when we have samples at this point, it's not too much longer before we get the production models in. So start with we have a whole new line that we announced in our 2026 catalog, which is a layout enhancement scenery range. It has everything from some structure pieces to glues and well, I'll show you. So I'll go into full screen here. We have some HO scale tunnel portals, which we're starting out with. These come, as you can see, painted and weathered. And this is the single track version. And we have the double track version here as well. They look a little basic, just like this. They do come with side supports. We opted not to have the side supports attached and molded with the actual tunnel portals themselves, so you could decide how to use them. So here are the side supports. They are cut at an angle, so you can attach them in a conventional way, and they will attach at the angle that would be most likely how they would attach in reality. But we wanted to give the modeler some choice in what they could do with it. So if you wanted to attach them like this and have a typical tunnel portal with one of these on each side, you could do that. But you can also, depending on your topography, you could do things a little differently. You could have them up. This is probably the wrong one to show for this because it's the other side that I need. So you can have them like this vertically if you want to have sloping topography coming down on the sides. And you can also have them on the back. Let's see, there we go. If you want to have the tunnel jutting out and the topography coming down along the side of it, as you'll see I think there were some tunnels on the Milwaukee Road Pacific Extension that looked like this, where they jutted out of the side of a very steep mountainside and stuff like that. So we wanted to give the user options of how they could use it. So we'll show on here. Just go up close to it. It's got a little 1912 printed insignia on it there for the date that the tunnel would have been constructed.
Mhm.
So each tunnel piece or each pack will come with two portals and four side supports, two left and two right, and you'll have a variety of options of how you want to use those. They're scaled to work with Easy Track, of course, because they have to be compatible with the rest of our line. They'll look just the right size for non-Easy Track users as well, and they are designed to be capable of having clearing a double stack intermodal mold car. So you can pretty much get anything conventional through these tunnels.
Yeah, these those side supports, those abutments. There are other tunnel portal pieces on the line on the market, but they don't typically have the abutments included. So gives it a little bit extra. It makes it a little bit easier for you to build the tunnel and modify the appearance however you'd like, and have it all be uniform. And I believe that that design, that concrete cast design, was based on a particular prototype, right?
Yeah, it was based loosely on the. We wanted to make it somewhat generic because it's going to be applied to wherever people's model or layouts are based. But the inspiration that it draws most heavily from are the tunnel portals on Tehachapi Pass in California. So it's the cast concrete design that was typical of the era that those were produced in. And then alongside those, to go with those, we're also these are in the pack here in the package here. We're also offering a pack of retaining walls. So these are the same height as the tunnels. So if you want to extend the side on one side of the tunnels, you can use these alongside the tunnels. The texture and the finish and the weathering is all designed to mesh with the tunnels, but you can also use these independently. You've got two of these per pack. So that gives you about about a foot and a half of retaining wall. And alongside those, we're also bringing out some packs of precast and pre-weathered rocks. That's the small packs. And then we've got the large rock outcroppings as well for cliffs. And we're still finalizing the weathering finish on these. These are not the final models. These are our first pre-production samples.
Mhm.
So they may be a little bit lighter than the ones that are in the package here, but this is the gives you an idea of how they'll look. Really nice, easy way to add on to your scenery and create a convincing scene for your train to run through.
Mhm. While we're showing
Um,
this, I'll mention real quick. We've had some questions asking about our building a layout with Bachmann YouTube series and when that will return. So I believe the plan is for it to return this month. We had to put it on hold for a little bit while we were finishing up the 2026 catalog and working on some other projects. But it will be returning. We've been working away at the scenery, and Matt, correct me on this, what your plans are, but I believe if not in this episode, the following episode, we'll be demonstrating some of these new Scenescapes products and how they can be used on your layout.
we will, yeah. So this next upcoming episode won't have any of that. We're kind of coming to a close for the groundworks that we're laying to put the scenery on. In the last one, we finished the topography and had the trains running, and this one will be um, adding some more. We're adding ballast to the track, and we're paving roads and adding railroad crossings and stuff like that. So the one after that is the one where we will hopefully be getting a start on the actual scenery of like adding in grass and trees, and we will probably put in some of these tunnels and retaining walls as well. We had tunnels installed. Unfortunately, the timing didn't quite align. It would have been great if these could have come in before we started this series. We could have used them from the start, but we may replace some of the tunnels that we already put in with our own models. And if we do that, we'll definitely have that on there. But yeah, in addition to that, um, We also have some layout building materials that are going to be part of this line, including plaster cloth. This is an unpainted pre-production sample. Bad joke. um, but yeah, we're gonna have plaster cloth, perfect for creating topography, mountains, hills. It's got a full set of instructions on the back here, actually following the same methods that we used on the video. So you can use the video to complement when you're building your layout if you want an idea of how we did it. And then we also have, let's see, here we go, realistic resin water for creating ponds and rivers and stuff like that. And to add on to the water, got realistic water details, and this will allow you to create things like ripples and white water for rushing water and stuff like that. Or if you want to create a cascading effect, this will be good for applying on top of this. And just a basic but necessary tool for layout building, we also have a line of model glue that we're introducing as well. So you can use this to glue your abutments, your supports onto your tunnels. And in addition to that, we also have some new additions to our Scenescapes range. That was our Scenescapes range. We have some additions to our Plasticville range. These are some new paint schemes for our classic Plasticville buildings. These buildings are an iconic part of model Americana, and we want to maintain the history but keep it fresh with some new looks. So you may have seen this design before in various forms, but this is our coffee shop, which is the latest use of this piece of architecture.
Yeah, this was most recently in the line as the burger stand, and I think historically the burger stand. And we sold out of the burger stand a while back, and we're discussing as a team. Let's do something a little bit different with it this time. So we, it still has that drive-in look, but now it's a coffee shop. We've tried to. I picked out the colors for this and did the graphics. You can see Rich's coffee shop. Actually comes with two sets of decals, so you can do a Rich's Coffee Shop or Espresso Lane, which is a slightly more modern-looking set of graphics. But yes, this is a good opportunity to mention. So this sample, this building and the next building we'll show you just come as a kit. I did assemble them earlier today with some glue for the purposes of showing them off on the live stream. They do come unassembled,
Mm-hmm.
which is makes it great for if you want to custom paint it. I kind of went for a 60s or 70s avocado green for the roof there.
You kind of also kind of it would be somewhat in the same vein as a very large coffee chain, which we won't name.
Oh, you mean Bar Sucks?
Something like that.
Yeah. But yeah, you can paint it however you'd like. You can use the parts for kit bashing. But this is the how it looks as completed just by following the instructions and applying the included stickers.
And it does have a few extra pieces as well that I'm not able to hold up all at once. So I'll put that down for a second. We have a planter to go out front, which looks great as is, but it's also perfect for painting to add a little bit more pop and color. You've got a counter for the inside with a cash register on it. And then also have two classic Plasticville cars you can park out front to truly make it a drive-in.
Yeah, get a little cars and coffee setup going.
Exactly. And that's not the only Plasticville building that we've given a refresh to. We're also doing the 5 and 10 in this red and cream scheme, which looks really nice.
Yeah, it's kind of taking inspiration from some of the earlier Plasticville releases. I always think of that cream and red for those little storefront buildings. So We most recently had it in just pure white and red. So we again took some retro inspiration and changed it up.
And one of my favorite things about this is these classic window interiors. That's
Yeah,
makes me think of old department store Christmas layouts that you'd see. So that's a couple of new arrivals coming soon for Plasticville, and our final piece of infrastructure, I'll say, I guess, in this case, is a new addition to our HO scale girder bridge series, and that's the Norfolk Southern Bridge with the classic modern horsehead scheme.
hmm has the nickel silver rails across it. That measures about 9 inches, I believe, same as a regular piece of straight easy track. So easy to pop in if you're just getting started and using a basic uh, starter set layout. Put a bridge in there, and then you just need a river to go over it, or for
And
it
you
to
can
go over.
also use commercially available HO scale bridge piers to put on each end of it to make it an actual raised bridge, just as we did in our how to build a layout, and I believe it was in the last episode. And it looks really great integrated into a full layout scene. I also like the guardrails that are in the middle there as well. So that just about does it. That's I would say, considering we've only had about 3 weeks since the last live stream, that was a good amount of stuff to cover.
Yeah, our engineering team has been hard at work over the past couple weeks, getting working on these projects, getting the samples to us, and all these items will be going into production very soon, arriving either late this year or early 2027.
All right, so let's see. I think we should go into the Q&A.
Yeah,
Um,
I do have to mention, Matt. Looks like there's an issue with my stream window, and I'm not seeing any comments from the live viewers.
oh, okay.
So I believe I can pull up the stream on YouTube if you can. You'll want to get started while I'm doing that.
Sure, yeah. Looks like most of the comments here I'm seeing are actually on YouTube, so it's probably the best one to do. So I'll still start at the top and work my way down.
All right.
All right. So let's see. You guys should do an HO scale Santa Fe freight set. We do make an HO scale Santa Fe freight set. It's got the classic FT with the war bonnet livery and a couple of freight cars. And Tyler, are you about to reach for one? It looks like you're about to reach for something.
I was going to reach for one of them. Yeah. So we have two. In fact, we have the Santa Fe Flyer with the war bonnet FT, and we happen to have one right here in our conference room. The
Ah,
Thunder
yeah.
Chief DCC sound value set.
And that's got the F7 locomotive.
That comes completely equipped with a DCC sound value decoder. Includes an Easy Command Plus. So you have full control over all the functions, and it's easy to expand your railroad with more DCC locomotives.
Yeah, that's a good one. I always forget about that one because it's got a less common Santa Fe freight scheme. That would be that was the scheme that they were using in the 50s into the 60s, right?
I believe so. Yeah, it was one of the earlier schemes.
Or possibly even the 40s. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see.
We have a couple of Thomas fans here, Matt. Maybe you can help them out, asking for an update on Salty.
So Salty is coming. I know it's kind of it's been a while, and I'll be the first to admit it. But he is still coming. Rest assured. There were some delays in production and getting him back into production. He will be in production this year with a most likely release. It will be 2027 for his release, but and I know I may have been quoted earlier as saying it was 2026, but um, with the delays due to the tariffs last year that caused a cascading effect on all of our products at the time. Unfortunately, it did get caught up in that. It will be 2027 now, but he is still coming, and that is the main thing. Let's see. I actually have a Thomas question here as well. Any updates on the Flying Scotsman? Nothing yet. We hope to have an update on that soon, but it is in development. And in the same comment, any plans to make the Union Pacific SD70M 1616 Abraham Lincoln in HO scale, as well as the 250 unit? We actually don't have an SD70M in our line, so that's probably not something that we will be looking into in the near term, but you never know for the future.
Mm-hmm. A couple more Thomas questions, and these are actually, Matt, if I can go over and steal them out of your office, we can show them. The China Clay Wagon and Troublesome Truck 7, are we allowed to show those?
Well,
Or,
we are allowed to show them, but there's going to be a Thomas Tuesday with Train World tomorrow night, so I want to save them for that.
okay, we will save them for Thomas Tuesday tomorrow then.
And that'll be just for anybody watching. That'll be at 5:30 Eastern time on Train World's Facebook or YouTube tomorrow night.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got those samples, and then we've got some surprises as well. Um, not necessarily a suggestion or a question, but I like this statement. It just says it would be funny if Bachmann did the engines from Team Fortress 2. I've never played the game, but Tyler, you you know anything about those?
That was a big part of my teenage years. So yeah, I know exactly what you're referring to. Not something that we're planning for or to really expect, but it would be fun. Would be I believe one of them was a GP38-2, so it would be a pretty easy custom paint job.
There you go. Any N scale EMD E or F units in the works? We have produced the F7 in N scale before, and in fact, it's still available. Is it the F7 that's available in the sets right now in N scale?
Yeah, we have it in a couple of our N scale sets. The Stallion, Super Chief, off the top of my head, I think there may be one more. It's not available in separate sale at the moment, but something that we'll consider for a reintroduction.
Can never have too many F units.
Mm-hmm.
Another N scale question: do we still sell the K4 in N scale? We currently have the Streamline K4 in N scale. But if you're referring to the standard unstreamlined K4, we don't have that in our line right now. Certainly possible that it'll make a return in the future because that was a very popular locomotive. Tyler, you got any, or do you want me to just keep going?
Uh, Keep going. I think I'll have one in a second here.
All right. I've seen a couple of people asking for updates on Green Sir Hayden and Taliflin in blue. Green Sir Hayden, we should have a sample, hopefully a box sample actually, in the not too distant future. We will show that off. For the blue Taliflin, obviously that's a much more recent release. We announced Sir Hayden last year. We announced the blue Taliflin just this last catalog in 2026, so that'll be a little bit longer, but we should get a painted sample this year at some point, I'm sure. And we won't hide them from you. Well, as soon as we get them, and this is what we do. As soon as we get them, we always make sure that we put them on the next stream. Or even if there's not a stream coming up, we even show them on New Model Monday on just our regular post.
I have a question about when our the new Rio Grande Southern Bobber caboose will be in stock. That's an HO scale new announcement from the 2026 catalog. We have not received a sample of that, so it is still a ways out. I'm going to refer to our production schedule here in 1 second, and I can see if they have a date scheduled for it yet. It looks like they do not. So most likely it's going to be late 2026 or early 2027.
I've got a question here about the status of whether we'll be getting Amtrak cab cars. I'm assuming this is for the Venture sets. We don't have any plans in the immediate future for the Cap car, but we are well aware that they are coming into service, and the Midwest ones are have finally been shown off in reality. So they'll be. I'm sure there'll be some conversation on that in the very near future.
Mhm. Do want to acknowledge we had two questions just generally asking about when we'll make Thomas announcements and new announcements. We did mention previously that we were looking to go to a quarterly announcement plan this year. And we found that we're still finalizing the details on new projects and working on our tooling plan for the next year or so. So we decided we were not quite ready to make any announcements until August, when we'll have our traditional mid-year NMRA National Train Show new product announcements. So you can expect those in early August.
And the quarterly announcements thing may happen in the future, but it's tabled for now. Question about the Baldwin Locomotive Works 060 number 26, which we have in our line. Says, is there any chance we could do a re-release of it as it appears today at Steamtown? I don't know what the changes would be to show its current appearance. That would be something we'd have to research. But um, it's a nice paint scheme, and I believe it's out of stock in HO. Maybe it'll make a return at some point.
Yes, it is out of stock in HO, still available. Out of stock at Bachmann, you may be able to check with your local retailer or online and check if they still have it in stock. But we are out of stock here at Bachmann. We do still have it available in N scale, readily available.
And another question just on the status of the 1900s era passenger cars. Tyler, I'll field that one to you.
Mm-hmm. 1900s era passenger cars. Not much to report on them at the moment since we last shared the pre-production samples. They are in production, and we're expecting them to arrive this summer.
Are the 2026 catalogs out now at dealers? They should be. Yeah, definitely check with your dealer. If you are not seeing them at your dealer, let them know. They can still order them from us, or you can also order direct from our web store as well. Another question about the status of the 009 gunpowder wagons. Assuming this is the Thomas ones, we did announce the prototypical Festiniog Railway gunpowder wagons back in the 2026 catalog as well. The Thomas and Friends ones will be here very soon. Tyler, you don't have that production schedule pulled up by any chance, do you?
I had it and then I closed it, so let me pull it up again.
Because we did receive this is a teaser I'll spoil for tomorrow. We did receive box samples of the gunpowder wagons, which means that shipment will be fairly soon from the factory. So we should be looking at them. I would estimate probably this summer. But Tyler, what do you have?
They have it as finishing production this month, which means it should be arriving in the U.S. in June.
There you have it.
Do have one more Thomas comment, Matt. You
Mhm.
have a couple of people asking if Ari and Bert will return to the line.
Never say never. It's not. They would not be high on the priority list because we've got so many other characters that are a little more prominent, especially in the more recent years, that we would want to do. But you know, since we've done them before, and since they are Class 08s, which we've been doing a number of recently, it's certainly possible. What would Bachmann think about producing the HO scale 100-ton open hoppers in Norfolk and Western livery of the 70s and 80s? I don't know, Tyler. What would Bachmann think about that?
I'm not Bachman. I'm just Tyler. But
Well, we'll have to call up Ray, the Bachman.
yeah, I mean, I'm not opposed to it. certainly there's plenty of Norfolk and Western coal hoppers back in the day. They would fit right in. So we will take it under consideration for a future release.
I'm seeing a lot of questions about when will certain Thomas and Friends items be returned to stock. Um, we should be getting shipments in throughout the year. I know a number of products have been out of stock for a little while. They are all um, in production for being restocked at some point, hopefully throughout the year. Um, so if it is out of stock and it's still showing on our website or it's still showing in our catalog, more importantly, it hasn't been canceled or anything. It's we're just waiting on new stock to be finished and shipped.
Mhm. I can say,
And
looking at the production schedule right now, some of the items that are scheduled to finish up production this month, so we can expect to receive them most likely in the summer. We've got H.O. James, H.O. Henry, the gunpowder wagons as mentioned, H.O. Emily, H.O. Origin James, Duck, Oliver, Spencer Special Coach, Emily's Coaches, Toad, a number of rolling stock items, accessories in HO, Harold, Birdie, Cranky, uh, large scale Annie and Clarabelle, large scale Emily's Coach, large scale Spiteful Break Van. So they'll probably we expect those. They may come over multiple shipments, but they should all be arriving around the same time this summer.
there you go. And I think that's I see a question, well, a comment that just came out. You need a layout behind you. I'm assuming that's probably directed at me, considering I have a green void behind me.
Mhm.
That's in the works. I'm doing this for my house right now, rather than my office because I have a newborn baby. So just need to be at home in the evenings. But we moved house recently, and there are plans for a layout in the basement. So eventually, when that layout's built, that'll be my backdrop whenever I'm doing this from home.
Mhm. We've
And of
also
course,
talked about potentially doing one of these live streams from the video layout room where we're building the new layout. So
mhm.
if we can make sure that we'll have a good internet connection, stable internet connection for live streaming, we may be able to do that in the near future.
Yeah, that's actually just to give some context. It's in a different building to our main offices, so it's not necessarily where the Wi-Fi is on site. I think that might be the end of the comments here, at least for the ones I can see.
I think so. I think we covered all the major ones, the ones that we can answer and acknowledge. As always, if you didn't get your comment answered, or if you're watching the replay rather than watching the stream live, you can always leave a question or a comment in the Facebook or YouTube comments, or send us an email at info@bachmanntrains.com.
Absolutely. All right, so I'm going to. I think that'll be. Oh, what's going on here? There we go. Sorry, the little computer froze up for a second there. Yeah, I think that'll be it for us, and we'll be back hopefully to our more normal schedule next month.
See you then.
We'll see you then.